In today's tutorial, we're learning how to make this really cool origami effect of a dinosaur. But not just one, we're going to learn how to make different ones also in the same style. So you can create really cool images for your presentation all in the same style. And it's all done in Canva and it's not that hard actually. And we're starting from a blank slide. Now first, let's give a nice background color. So I'm going to gradients and then we don't want orange, but I'm going to choose a nice yellow and an orange, like a yellow-orange tone for the other one. Make a circular and drag it around so we have the dark on the outside and the highlight in the middle. That's what we want. Now we go to the apps section and here we want to type in origami. We have this nice origami creator app, so we click on that and it will install. And here you can describe your image. So for example, we want a T-Rex. We just type in T-Rex and here you can choose the aspect ratio like square, portrait or landscape. I'm going to stick to square and generate an image. Give it a few seconds to load and it will actually come up with a pretty cool origami of whatever you described in your box. You can keep it simple or you can go really detailed in your creations. So this one I think is pretty cool. So let's add that to the design. And you see the background is now a white. So I can add it just like this. And I use the background remover to the image to really remove that background. Now this is pretty neat. Now if we want to have that realistic effect that it had, we want to put some shadow underneath. So we scroll up, go to elements, and here type in shadow. Since we have some sort of an angle of the view, we can go to graphics and find a nice sort of circular shadow that will fit. This one I think will be too small. It might work actually. If we scale it down, position to the back and place it underneath his feet. We're not going to rotate it, so we want to make it slightly larger. And you can always reduce the transparency if it's too much and make it larger or smaller just until it nicely fits the design. I think this will look quite good. And then we can increase it, put it on the side, and yep, add some nice text to it. For example, origami. Let's make that white. Let's also add some shadow to it, maybe a lift to make it just a bit better. I'm going to use a smaller font, a little bit more condensed like Anton. And then place that underneath or send it backwards so it's almost behind that T-Rex that we've created. T-Rex. And then increase this in size. There we go. Which I think is a pretty cool design. Now, of course, you can just reuse this app. It's now installed here. And you can type in just a regular dinosaur, generate the image, and then also add those to your designs. So for example, this one, you can add it to your design, do the same techniques. So you make it larger, use the background remover. And if we add a new page, we can just add it there and maybe a couple more of the creations that we have done. So I've created a few more here, like a raptor or this one here. And you can make them large, you can make them small, but I think it really adds to your presentation design since we have that same style that we're creating. We have that same effect of the images because there's also this consistency mode. If you enable it, it will create very similar and consistent images. And that's what we want to achieve in our designs. And if we then hover in between the slides, we can just add a really cool transition. Let's do the flow transition. I think it works really well with those elements. And you can see how this can be a cool start of your presentation. So let's preview that. And this is how we can create these really cool origami style elements of our topics and add them to your presentation. You can customize them. You can make them feel and look exactly the same. But I think it really adds to that design element of your presentation. So thanks a lot for watching, and if you want to learn more about Canva, make sure to watch the video on screen right now.